Let me start with a scene that honestly sounds like satire, except it isn't. Let's assume you're one of the world's top badminton players. You've trained your entire life for this moment. You walk into an international tournament, rackets ready, focus locked in, and you look up into the stands. There's a monkey with a baby just vibing. It's not a mascot, it's not a push toy, it's an actual monkey sitting in the gold stand. At that moment, you're no longer sure whether you're at a world class sporting event or an extremely confusing wildlife documentary. This happened at the India Open, which is hosted at the Indira Gandhi Indoor Stadium in New Delhi, a tournament that should have been a showcase of India's status as a badminton powerhouse. Instead, it became an international case study in how not to host a global sporting event. First, bird droppings on the courts, then hygiene complaints from players, then severe air pollution forcing world number 2 Anders Antonsen to withdraw, followed by a fine because apparently the air was unplayable, but the rules were still breathable. And finally, the monkey. At some point, this stopped being bad luck and started becoming a pattern. Let's be clear about one thing upfront. This is not about mocking India, Indian culture, or wildlife. Monkeys exist, birds do exist, pollution exists. What's under scrutiny is organizational competence. Because hosting an international championship is not about passion for the sport, it's about logistics, planning, hygiene, safety, credibility, and credibility is fragile. When players complain about bird droppings inside both training and main areas, that's not nitpicking. That's actually hygiene failure. When elite athletes withdraw due to pollution levels, that's not being soft. That's a health red flag. And when a monkey can actually access spectator stands for 10 minutes before being noticed, it actually raises very uncomfortable questions. Now, the official response was quick and defensive. It was dark, nobody noticed, we removed it promptly, which is interesting because, lighting and monitoring are also part of hosting. You don't get extra points internationally for saying, don't worry, it was only 10 minutes. That's not reassurance. That's a timeline of failure. And I mean, look, everyone has a bad day at work. You spill coffee on your shirt, your Wi Fi dies during a meeting, maybe you forget the password. But very few professionals allow you to say, sorry about the monkey, it happens. And yet, here we are. This incident wouldn't be such a big deal if it stood alone, but it doesn't. India is set to host the Badminton World Championship in 2026 after a complex reshuffling of hosting rights involving the Sudirman Cup. That decision was based on trust. Trust that the host nation can deliver at the highest international standard. And trust, once shaken, is very hard to rebuild. The question facing the Badminton World Championship now isn't emotional, it's practical. Do we risk repeating this on a much larger stage? Because World Championships aren't forgiving. Cameras are actually everywhere. Players are vocal. Social media is ruthless, and embarrassments scale globally. If you're a sports fan, this matters because hosting rights bring investment, prestige, and development opportunities. If you're a taxpayer, it matters because public infrastructure is involved. And if you care about India's global image in sports, this matters because talent alone doesn't carry reputation, professionalism does. India has players, India has the audience, India has passion. What's being questioned right now is execution. This story isn't really about a monkey. This monkey just made the problem impossible to ignore. It's about whether ambition is being matched with preparation, whether global aspirations are backed by global standards, and whether accountability exists beyond damage control statements. Because in international sport, you don't get judged by your intentions, you get judged by what the world sees. And last week, the world saw bird droppings, pollution, and a monkey in the stands. That's not a punchline any serious sporting nation wants.